There's going to be a Connor Stalions documentary coming on Netflix, August 27th. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, I think the majority of our fan base does, but Connor Stalions allegedly stole some signs for Michigan Wolverines football, and at the end of last year, I guess it was early November, late October, eventually resigned from the staff. He was like a special staff member on that team in terms of what he was designated with doing. He wasn't like a position coach, but bottom line, Connor Stalions, the documentary is coming to Netflix August 27th. Again, the title is Sign Stealer. I think they probably could have gone a little bit harder on the name here, if we're being honest. Some others that I would have been a fan of, Michigan Manifesto, because remember, he had that like multiple 100-page manifesto he had about eventually being the guy at Michigan. Another one I would have liked, I Saw the Sign, the Connor Stalions story. Of course, a play on words from the Ace of Base song. Those Who Spy Will Be Champions. That's a play on words from the Those Who Stay Will Be Champions from Bo Schembechler. So I would have been cool with all those. Sign Stealer, could take it or leave it. My first thought, though, when I saw this was coming out, I was like, all right, Netflix, we got to dig deep. We got to dig deep for this one because let's be real here, your back is against the wall in some respects. All right, you had Swamp Kings, you had Johnny Manziel. Both were good. Both were fun. Both were great stories to cover, but like, I think we left some meat on the bone is what I believe the majority of the college football public is feeling like right now after watching those docs. So expectations now are a little bit tempered. All right, we're scared to get hurt again as the college football public. If I am overseeing this whole operation, I am going and finding every single individual that was a part of the Manti Te'o documentary that was also from Netflix's Untold series, because that was a banger, right? That was awesome. Let's go do more of that. Let's lean into that, the untold part of it, not just the parts that have already been told and you're retelling us, all right? Now, the fact this is getting turned around and already going to be a documentary is the most 2024 thing of all time. Because historically now, we all understand documentaries are usually made several years after the thing the documentary is on happened. This documentary is going to be made about an event that happened 9 months ago. All right, not even a full year. So I love that. That's a lot of fun. I hope they do a deep dive on Connor Stalions and his origin story. One, because that would make a lot of sense based on what this documentary is about. Two, because I have some people in my life that are, let's say, a degree to 2 degrees of separation away from Connor Stalions. People that know Connor Stalions. And they talk about him as just being like an absolute college football sicko, a Michigan sicko, and I hope that they dive a little bit more into that story. And my prediction on this is I think that we are going to leave this documentary as the college football public, and I think empathize a little bit more with Connor Stalions. Now, cheating is wrong. Nobody is saying cheating is ever okay in any form or capacity, but like, I think all of us that weren't Ohio State or Penn State fans, when we saw Connor Stalions or the alleged individual that looked like Connor Stalions on the Central Michigan sideline, you're kind of like, all right, that's a little bit impressive. Like the fact that you got on another college football team's sideline and did not get outed until however many weeks later, that's kind of impressive. So, again, it is what it is. But here's my concern a little bit about this documentary. Not the quality, not the story. The negative of this whole thing coming to light is there's inevitably going to be individuals in the college football public that will see this documentary that's meant to just be telling a story, meant to just be unpacking what happened and going into a deeper dive of the actual events. And they're going to use it as ammunition. Well, Michigan, they cheated the science. Look at the documentary. No, actually, they beat your team without their head coach. Sit down. Well, that clip that circulated on social media, remember the one where like, oh, they look at Ohio State's sideline and they get the sign and then Connor Stalions tells the defense and they're all yelling at the sideline because they know the play. And then Ohio State threw a touchdown pass on that exact same play. Like, that's the thing here. With the sign stealing stuff, and this is something we said when this whole deal was going on, sign stealing does not actually equate to knowing the play. Is it illegal? Absolutely. Is it an edge? Absolutely. Does it make the end-all, be-all difference in your football game? I would guess 90% of the time, probably not. Well, JD, but the signs, this and this. Was it the signs or was it the 13 NFL draft picks Michigan had on their roster last year? They didn't have Jim Harbaugh during that 3-game stretch where they beat Penn State and Ohio State. They didn't have Connor Stalions during that stretch either. I'm just saying, I think if you are leaning into the signs of this whole thing still, and you come away from the documentary still talking about the signs and how that changed the outlook of your season, like, I'd maybe seek some help. That's my own opinion on it. So we're going to work to try and get some early access for y'all on this documentary, or I'll rephrase that. We're going to try to get early access so we can preview it for y'all on this show and preview, I guess, give you our review of it. Obviously, we can't provide early access for our audience. Otherwise, we 100% would. So I guess we'll check on that too. But we're going to try and get a sneak peek of this and kind of give you our thoughts on it before it comes out. But regardless, excited to watch that. Excited to hear y'all's thoughts on it. Should be a really good time. Hey y'all, thanks so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel here to make sure you don't miss an episode of The Hard Count. Also be sure to check out other videos on the On3 YouTube channel.